life. Let's talk anime, art, and cartoons tonight. Lightbox, the internet way.
Welcome to Lightbox, the official podcast of Wanimate, the West Australian Animation Association. Whether you're an aspiring animator, a seasoned professional, or simply a fan of the magical world of animation, you've come to the right place. I'm Tanya, but you can't see me right now.
Hello there, I'm David.
And I'm Lindsay. Oh, feels like an old-fashioned 70s TV show.
We're going to be your guides on this monthly journey into the heart of the animation industry in Western Australia. Each month, Lightbox will bring you the latest and greatest in animation news, from upcoming films and shows to industry discussions that will inspire and empower the talented animators who call West Australia home. We'll also delve into the creative processes and challenges faced by our local animators as they work tirelessly to bring their unique visions to life. So buckle up and get ready to be amazed as we explore the vibrant, ever-evolving world of West Australian animation. This is Lightbox, and we're just getting started.
We wish to acknowledge and honour the traditional custodians of the land that we're streaming from, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. We recognise and celebrate their enduring culture and the rich tapestry of Indigenous arts, and the valuable contribution they make to a vibrancy and cultural diversity of the city and region.
Fabulous. Now, before we dive and conquer, before we dive into today's content,
that's the word.
We'd like to issue a quick advisory warning. While our channel is generally suitable for most audiences, there may be occasions when we delve into topics or showcase content that might not be appropriate for younger viewers. I am, of course, talking about children's television specifically aimed for under fives. We've got some on this show. We strive to create engaging and enjoyable content for everyone, but please be advised that some material may not be suitable for children. Parental discretion, of course, is advised, and we encourage you to review the content before sharing it with younger audiences. Our goal is to provide a safe and enjoyable viewing experience for all, and we appreciate your understanding and support. Now for the news.
News side.
Okay. All right, so let's start off with some bad news first, and there's a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, Walt Disney has begun a broad round of layoffs that's expected to result in about 1,000 jobs being cut across multiple divisions within their Burbank entertainment giant.
What, again?
Again, yeah. I think
feels familiar.
also suffering around the cuts as well. I don't know if it's related due to Disney owning Marvel or what the deal is there. So yeah, it's not sounding great.
Isn't this the third time around they've started chopping studios left, right, and centre?
Yeah, the sort of age of streaming is coming to a bit of a close. There's a few streaming companies that are still very, very
I don't understand.
I would say, still investing money like Apple and some of the other up and comers. But yeah, most of the other ones are cutting.
I just don't understand the American entertainment industry sometimes. They seem to go out of the way to build a business model that sabotages itself. I really don't get it.
Make way for AI. Anyway,
that too. I mean,
endless growth requires feeding upon the corpses of those it leaves behind. Yes,
I guess, but dear me, it's not good.
Oh,
anyway,
I should
say
as our first news item. Sorry, should have been happy Star Wars Day to all who celebrate.
Yes.
I'm hearing the music in the background, and that's what I'm thinking. So,
royalty free because
yes, it's related.
It's Gustav Holst.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If you know, you know.
Well, growing up all those years ago, they used to use this all the time in old science fiction and kids shows.
Yeah. Well, it was almost used instead of John Williams, so
that's right. And then Star Wars and John Williams turned up and saved us all.
No. This was almost used in Star Wars.
No. It's cool, but it's just been used to death. It's like, the Papyrus font or, the Photoshop lens flare. It's like they're fantastic things, but they've been thoroughly ruined by overuse. Anyway.
All right, let's continue with other news. So we've got Epic
Okay.
the Musical, which is the musical version of Odyssey. That's been announced as an upcoming animated film, thanks to Jerry Bruckheimer. So let's see how it goes. We've got
It'll be big, whatever it is.
I'm not TikTok involved enough to have had much exposure to it, but it's apparently been doing well and getting viral praise. Warner Brothers Animation has President Sam Register confirms that Scooby-Doo anime is in active development. The series will follow Shaggy, Scooby-Doo in Japan, and unleash mythical monsters that are causing trouble all over the country. So, that could be interesting. I'm curious to see how the Scooby Gang, or the new Scooby Gang in this case, will handle Japanese mythology. And finally, Roger Sweet. This is tangentially related. Roger Sweet, the creator of the He-Man action figures, which spawned the popular 80s cartoon and soon to be a movie coming out next month, the beginning of next month. He passed away at the age of 91.
Oh, yeah. You can watch his interviews with him on the Toys That Made Us, which is very cool.
Yeah, that really is. And I guess the last piece of housekeeping we should probably do is just, Tanya, would you please remind people about 330?
Yes, absolutely. The 330 animation competition is in full swing. We are entering, we're in the 4th day of the 2nd month, so you've got 2 months left to enter, make an animated film, and submit. And it's looking to be pretty amazing. Always get to see some fantastic films come through from the multitude of local animators, and some international and some locals, some Australia-wide. So yeah, always very cool. Lots of cool sponsors this year as well. So we got Adobe on board, and we got some cool judges again. So always a fun evening. This time, not being the chair of Wanimate anymore, I can sit back and relax and let Christina take over.
And what's the word?
The word is charm. Charm. So, unfortunately, I was told the word charm very early on, and therefore I cannot enter an animation, which is, slightly relieving and slightly unfair.
Yeah, you're pretty busy as it stands. I'm wondering where you make time.
Considering, the multitude of things we got going on. Okay. But,
all right, let's get into what's coming soon to theaters nearby us. So we don't have too much as far as new releases. We've got Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway: The Sorcery of Nymph Circe. Get that right. Of Nymph Circe coming out on May the 14th. That will be the second in the Hathaway trilogy, Gundam Hathaway trilogy. So I'm really looking forward to that. The other we've got is on June 3rd, Legend of Vox Machina Season 4 is started. So that's
the penultimate season, because they're going through. And if you know anything about the final story arc, now that they've finished the Chroma Conclave, get to see where it goes for the characters to get all the way to level 20. And some cool stuff going on. So yeah, I've of course watched the live stream, so I'm spoiled. But if you haven't,
I'm just the cartoon guy, so I'm waiting for that.
No, fair enough.
Before we go on to quite good local screenings that we've got coming up, I guess we should mention some of the special effects heavy things that are coming out as well.
Yes.
We've got Mandalorian and Grogu coming out. Is that 21st, 22nd? I believe.
Yes.
Somewhere around there.
So Star Wars film coming up in the Star
Yep.
Wars month. Is it the 22nd? Because generally the official release day of Star Wars films is the 23rd. So it must be the 21st. Yeah.
We've got, I guess, Sheep Detective. The Sheep Detectives we should mention as well, because that's quite a heavily animated film. It's a live action, obviously, but a lot of its characters are digital sheep. So yeah, it's actually a lot better than I was expecting. I really enjoyed it. So it's coming out this week. Yeah, worth a look.
I saw the trailer when I went and saw The Devil Wears Prada. And if you want to see a reanimated Anne Hathaway,
I kind of do, yeah. All right. So we've got that, and the other reason to see the Sheep Detectives is to hear Patrick Stewart doing his best Gandalf impersonation. It is amazing.
Nice.
It's pretty good. Okay, so finally, June 4, I believe we're going to have Masters of the Universe coming out as well. So
yes. So for those of us who are He-Man stans, so following the world of Filmation.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very cool. So I'm quite excited to see the He-Man movie.
I'm eager for it as well, as Okay, so let's look at the local screenings that are coming out. So we've got Spirited Away. That's a revival house. We've got Gundam Hathaway, the first of the Gundam Hathaway trilogy. That's making an appearance on May 9th on the screens. Ponyo.
So does that mean there's 4 Anne Hathaway movies out at the same time?
No. If you said Hathaway movies, there'll be 3 Hathaway movies. But
okay, right. So
that allow. They haven't built a Gundam out of Anne Hathaway, no.
Because Devil Wears Prada, Verity.
No.
But Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway as well.
Yeah, Gundam Hathaway will start before Gundam Hathaway meets Cersei. So
okay.
Yeah, it's only going to be a week release for Gundam Hathaway. I'm afraid. I'm not sure how long the sequel will go around. Hopefully for longer. All right, Ponyo. We've got coming out on May 9th as well. And Interstellar 5555, 5555, which people that are Daft Punk fans may recognize.
What? One more time, David?
Nice. Thank you. All right. Those are Revival House. Shrek, May 14th. Shrek, the 25th anniversary release is coming out. And finally, June 8th, Monday double at the Luna will be Paprika and Tokyo Godfathers.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah. Con retrospective, so that'll be good.
Always lauded Paprika, so yeah.
It's pretty out there.
Yeah, both are worth a look. Having said that, I've actually seen neither, truth be told. But yeah,
what?
I know. It's
I haven't seen Godfathers, but
you normally lap up the anime. What is going on?
I know. No, it's worse. It's Paprika's in my pile of shame. I've got it.
Put down the Freerin. Put down the Freerin and go and watch Paprika.
Yeah, it's definitely worth your while. It's very, what's the word, Cronenberg in its sensibilities.
Yeah.
And I don't mean gruesome either.
Yeah.
It's psychological and surreal, and yeah, it's good.
Let's move on before David brings up Delicious in Dungeon. And
okay. Coming out later this year, so I'll get my chance still. All right, let's go on. So let's do the monthly topic. So happy May the 4th, as said previously. Look, unfortunately, we've covered Star Wars last year, and since then, all that's come out is third season of Visions and more Shadow Lord, which is really good. And the final two.
No, I haven't watched it yet. I'm just
You
being
should.
overseas. I'm just catching up on stuff now. So
it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, should see. But yeah, okay. So we really don't have much to talk about. So I guess we're calling it a night here.
No, there is another.
Are you saying there's another popular sci-fi franchise? One that explores space and the final frontier? One that visits strange new worlds? One that boldly goes where no one has gone before?
The blue box.
All right.
Okay. We are talking about Star Trek animation here, guys. And as surprising as it may be for a lot of people whose lives predate 2023, you'll be amazed to know that there's been an animated Saturday morning cartoon series of Star Trek since the early 70s. And that is Star Trek, the animated series. So that came out in 1973. Let me check my notes. So exactly 7 years to the day that the original series premiered, the Saturday morning version turned up and aired its first cartoon. Now, originally, that was the pilot, but apparently they had to swap episodes around because of Sulu. Now, George Takei, who plays Sulu, who was the
excellent mispronunciation of his name. Excellent.
So anyway, what happened was they ran afoul of the Federal Communications Commission. So if you've been keeping up with your Trumps of late, you know how they've been accusing Colbert of all that stuff about equal airtime for candidates and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, apparently that happened to the Star Trek animated series. So they got stroppy about the fact that George Takei was actually running for public office at the time, and they had to swap the episodes around because apparently he had enough dialogue in the show to break their fair coverage rules. And so, things like "Yes, Captain" or "The helm is not responding" and stuff like that probably would have swung a few voters, I imagine. So yeah, I mean, it certainly influenced my vote. But anyway, so it's a regular Saturday morning cartoon. But the weird thing is, it doesn't feel quite like one. I mean, certainly it's got the terrible music and the appalling production values of a no-budget rostrum camera cartoon. I mean, seriously, it has things like missing painted frames. Occasionally they get their layers out the wrong way, so someone's not on the screen, they're actually floating in front of it, all that sort of stuff on rare occasions. But it uses all the original actors and voices. And it even has a lot of the old writers in there. So really, even though it looks and feels a little bit naff like a Saturday morning cartoon, it's effectively the fourth season of the original series. Give or take a few giggles at the camera.
Actually won Trek's first Emmy, I should state, in that.
Damn straight. It's a real surprise. So if you're going in there expecting, 1969 Scooby-Doo level naffness, be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. So Filmation.
Yeah, it's a great example of a kid show that's actually aiming a lot higher. Kind of, it's better for it. So yes, it's fighting its own lack of budget and stuff, but there's some old-fashioned 60s, 70s sci-fi classic writing in there. So that was a big surprise, and the artwork lets them go a bit wild occasionally within their limited budget and means. So that actually make it quite good as well. So I guess
it's made by Filmation, and
Yes.
so it has that Filmation look. So the characters definitely feel like Filmation characters. Rotoscoping and lots of things going on there.
Six cells of animation.
if
Composition.
that it feels like 4.
It's 6. You still get missing heads occasionally, or missing limbs, or missing torsos. Yeah. So they've got a sexy cat lady, and they've got Liv and a thin classical sci-fi alien, one with 3 arms and 3 legs, who keeps reminding me of Saru from Star Trek Discovery. One of the better things. That's a Rex. He's an Odyssean, and they actually get seen later on in Lower Decks, and in live action in Strange New Worlds. So
Okay, well, they all reference each other nicely there. So the first thing I thought of when I saw it is that it really gave me a strong vibe of Big Finish. This is like Star Trek's equivalent of a Big Finish series. If you're not familiar with Big Finish does audio dramas of Doctor Who. They've been doing it for many, many years, though. So what happens is when a new Doctor comes in, all the fans get upset. So Big Finish goes and makes a whole pile of audio adventures with the old doctors and their assistants and stuff like that. It keeps the cast in the black, I guess, and pays the rent. But apparently there are now more Big Finish Doctor Who episodes than there are actual TV episodes. And when you consider there's like 60 years of TV episodes, that's saying something. So Star Trek the Animated Series feels like the Yanks equivalent of Big Finish. The show got canned, and then they came up with a plan B that became almost as interesting as the original. So if you're a Star Trek fan, I can definitely recommend the animated series. It's not bad. I mean, it's got the baggage, but, you know, it's like Doctor Who. You see a quarry in Doctor Who, you know it's an alien planet. You don't think, oh, God, that's just another quarry. You know, you're in a cave in a Star Trek show, you think, oh, I'm under a planet. I'm not in another cave episode of Star Trek. Or maybe you do. You know. Anyway, so at the other end of the spectrum,
This is what we celebrate Star Trek's 50th, Star Trek the Animated Series 50th anniversary.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's something called Star Trek Very Short Treks that I had absolutely no idea even existed. Thank heavens. It's like a Lovecraftian Cthulhu thing. You know, there are some things mankind is definitely not meant to know, and Star Trek Very Short Treks is that. And it's basically what 10, if that 10 4-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Right. Not short treks. That's a live action thing. That's actually not too bad either. This is very short treks. 2023. The short treks is the live action short stories that comes with Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, I think.
Includes a couple of animated episodes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
we'll talk about those in a minute after very short treks.
Okay.
The short treks I found more interesting than the entire Discovery series itself. So say what you like about that. But very short treks is, well, it really misses the mark. It's a set of 4-minute shorts. They're all styled on the old 70s Saturday morning cartoon version. And I think it was made to celebrate the 50th anniversary, you mentioned earlier. But it's one of those things, it's a bit like Adult Swim tripping over its own feet. It's very self-consciously trying to look hip and funny, very meta and very self-referential. And it seems to be aimed at people who hate the work and feel that if you're going to make something funny, it's got to have lots of scatological, bloodthirsty shit all through it. And it was just, no, it's not edgy, it's just stupid. So I'm not a Trekkie, as you probably gather. But, well, I'm working through DS9 at the moment, and it's actually pretty good. But this feels insulting, and it feels insulting for the characters, the story, the whole legacy, the whole point, and definitely it feels like a slap in the face at the fans. It's non-humor, scatological gross, and a lot of the jokes felt over-explained, and it trades entirely on referencing the familiar elements and characters to no good effect. So, oh dear God, it's horrible.
Generally, I agree with you. It is one of the worst things Trek has done.
I struggled through. I mean, it's 4 minutes long, and I've struggled through the first episode, and I didn't make it through the second one. I just, it's like
there is at least one good episode there. Holodecks All the Way Down is good, and the last episode starts referencing Filmation's kind of weird musical sort of history that they've got. And that's the music.
Good.
Sorry?
I'm glad you're there, Dave, because I could not have sat through the rest of them.
Yeah, no, I did this early on. That's why I'm not doing this again and passed it to you.
Well, if we were going to rate these things, I would have to rate the original Star Trek cartoon series as 3.5 endearing rostrum camera errors, but very short treks I would rate maybe 2, 1.5 low energy Rob Schneiders. Pretty bad. It's
all right. Let's.
Sorry,
It is.
I just have to discourse now. Excuse me.
All right, let's talk about something better, which is short treks. Again, not to be confused. Short treks is basically a similar concept in many ways. It's what very short treks kind of drew on. But short treks, average length of an episode is about 12 to 20 minutes, depending on the episode. and it is just short vignettes about various normally established characters within the Star Trek universe, and just a little expansion of their story and lore. There is 2 animated episodes in season 2, animated by Pixelmondo. So the first one is season 2, episode 4, The Girl Who Made the Stars. So this is a story of a young Michael Burnham from Discovery. She's being told a bedtime story of African folklore by her father, and it's this beautiful little tale dealing with fear and exploration. It's a really sweet little story. The second one is season 2, episode 5, which is Ephraim and Dot, which is a story about a tardigrade and a service bot feuding aboard the USS Enterprise. And it's a Looney Tunes inspired conflict that stretches throughout the original series into the movies, showing scenes from Space Seed to Star Trek 3 in the background. And the music does a lot of heavy lifting there, managing to find the right pacing between Looney Tunes and Star Trek and referencing both very well. And it is a very fun little tale. I do recommend it. It does feel like classic Looney Tunes, but with a Star Trek coding. So yeah, really worth a look. Alrighty.
Very, very cool. Oh, look. Okay. Oh, sorry. There we go.
There we go. Yep. So the one at the top is the girl who made the stars, and the one at the bottom is Ephraim and Dot. Right. And you can see how that draws a lot from the Star Trek animated series, kind of classic look and coloring scheme as well.
Yeah.
Well,
it's cool.
Better production value.
Okay. So I was handed. No, basically, I railroaded the guys into giving me Star Trek Lower Decks, and have we not railed about this series previously? Like, have we not ranted? Have we not? Sung praises to this series many times. It's still the best of Trek. The show itself basically started. So Mike Mahane, the writer, started a parody Twitter account back in 2011 called TNG _S8 season 8. Yes, where he just did absurd plot lines for Star Trek: The Next Generation, and it evolved into a book, and it was his love letter to Star Trek. So when Alex Kurtzman was starting to pull together what was going to be modern Trek, he pulled McMahon. Seriously, McMahon in and brought him and said, what would you want to do? What would you want to see? And he pitched essentially the episode of The Next Generation, where you see a bunch of low-level cadets and ensigns just dealing with the day-to-day.
And what was that episode called?
It was called Lower Decks.
Oh,
funny that. Yeah.
And that became the series.
Yeah. So essentially a series about the people who reload the replicators or clean up the holodeck after other people's questionable time in there. So
filter, I think, is the word for that.
Yeah. So it was junior officers doing mundane jobs, and it really, really works as a comedy series. So Lower Decks is the first Star Trek comedy series, of course, after obviously the previous animations for Sydney Ford's animated track, and then the very short treks. It's it's designed more in a modern animation style. Obviously, the characters are riffing a little bit off like the Rick and Morty style, a little more, I suppose, shaped and feeling like characters. So they're slightly more illustration-wise, but illustrated. But Titmouse, of course, doing that series, and they pulled it together, and it came. It was one of the animations that were impacted by COVID, so they really got hit pretty hard, and a lot of their production moved online. And thankfully, Logitech kind of held everything afloat because they were able to work remotely and still produce things. So the advantages of animation. So the series came out right in the heavy first wave of COVID in August in 2020. So I did mention Rick and Morty, but the tone of the show was specifically designed not to be Rick and Morty. It's Rick and Morty set in space. Rick and Morty has a parody aspect in that you're thinking Doc and Marty, but it's definitely still exists within the world of Star Trek. It makes fun of Star Trek, but internally for the audience. So it's not tearing it apart. It's making fun referential jokes. It's playing up the more absurd Star Trek aspects and rolling with them, and in some cases giving a little bit of leeway to them. I was each season that's been coming out has been, of course, parodying with its posters the movies, the original Star Trek movies. So those parodies are really, really nice. The crew of the Cerritos are front and center. They feel like characters. It's really nice referential stuff that they've done.
And that's important referential stuff. There is character development sewn in that draws from not original series, TNG era. That X episode is very important for Mariner going forward.
So what it added, I suppose, to Star Trek is that you get to see Star Trek crew who are not the best of the best of the best, who are not calm under pressure, and who are not not one speech away from solving every ethics problem that you might run into. Like this is Star Trek with humans. It's messy. It's awesome. The characters are insecure. They're anxious. They have petty rivalries, and they aspire to be those characters. The Picards and the Kirks, but they definitely don't pull any punches when it comes to being less than your traditional Trek characters. They use everything that they reference. Like there's definitely you could turn the whole show into a walkthrough. Hey, this is a famous moment in Star Trek, or this is what that favorite episode that you have. They do that to a degree, but then they always roll back and they always use and build upon what they're drawing from. So when they do go back and reference the Lower Decks original episodes of Star Trek, and they do go back and pick out characters that have come from Deep Space Nine or Next Generation or Voyager, they turn it back on itself in the most absurd way. It's always done reasonably good. So it's lighthearted, it's fun, but it's still really deep in terms of Star Trek series. It does take away a little bit of the mystique, like, of Star Trek. You're not holding up that level of the captain is this irreproachable figure, although Deep Space Nine does that to a degree, since you're going through it now, Linz.
I'll definitely testify to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not on the same level as say the original series or the Next Generation, where Picard is this stoic captain, and he is unflappable even in the face of being turned into a Borg and occasionally slipping up and shooting up an empty room with a machine gun.
Yes, I think I like Cisco better though.
It does.
Cisco.
Yeah, the show does rely a lot on callbacks, and there's some jokes that really, really are for the hardcore fans. You have to know the specific moments or the specific lore about the show itself to get some of the jokes. So yeah, it's not perfect in any way, but definitely great. What else have I got in my notes?
There's jokes in there based on the Star Trek game from the Star Trek video interactive game.
Yeah.
With experienced Beamish. There's some deep cuts in there.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I should talk about the crossover. So it's not separate from the rest of Star Trek. It has had a live action crossover with Strange New Worlds. Boimler and Mariner move across into Strange New Worlds and get trapped in the past for an episode, which is really nice. And the actual episode is end capped with a Lower Decks animated series style version of all the characters from Strange New Worlds, which is really cool.
Thanks for the right drinks.
I don't think they got Pike's hair high enough, actually, but but of course, now everyone's out there trying to replicate some of the jokes that have carried through from that episode itself. The episode is called TOS, TOS.
Those are scientists.
Yeah, which is an
acronym for the original series.
The acronym for the original series, but Boimler refers to it in Deep Space. Is it?
It's ransom, yeah.
Ransom references it as those old scientists, so TOS, which is really cool and does feel pretty good. What else have I got in my notes? Oh, of course. And it's expanded on some of the weird stuff in Star Trek. So it added to Star Wars lore. Star Trek. Yes, nice. Thank you. Added to Star Trek lore by taking stuff that we'd seen before and pushing it. So Badgie is, your standard holodeck artificial intelligence that gains awareness and turns evil, but is
like an evil Clippy, but wanting power and to kill its father.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. Peanut Hamper, little XComp, which is very, very cool. There's an XComp in Starfleet Academy as a character. Is
Yeah,
there?
almond basket.
Almond basket, yeah, peanut hamper and almond basket. It was, so in the live action, that's pretty cool that they carried that through. And of course, the inner mysteries of the universe revealed in Star Trek Lower Decks as an eternal koala sitting at the end of time and space.
What does he know? Why is he smiling?
Does he know why? Yes. It's great. Like they do an amazing job. So, I should back off there and let you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's talk about the seemingly unwanted child of Star Trek. So that's Alexander. He's Worf's son, and Worf is a terrible father. But the close set has to be Prodigy. Despite it actually being great, it was cancelled after one season by Paramount. Despite season 2 being mostly complete, it was picked up by Netflix for that season 2 and then cancelled again. So currently I don't believe it's streaming anywhere, although it's still available on video on demand, and it did get a physical release. So that's good. So this is created by Kevin and Dan Hagman, were the showrunners. So Troll Hunters, Ninjago, and they were co-writers of the Lego movie. Okay, so the brief synopsis for this. A group of enslaved teenagers escape a mining colony on a derelict Federation starship known as the Protostar and attempt to flee across the Delta Quadrant to seek refuge in the Federation. As they do so, they're instructed by a holographic version of Captain Janeway, yes, voiced by Mel Guru, and she teaches them how to be Starfleet. So there's some good and bads for this. So let's go through the goods first. Prodigy is made as an onboarding exercise for new fans of the genre. So it's trying to renew the pool of fans, the series. So it's made for 7+ viewers, but it does pitch it as friendly for 7+, but pitched as an adult feel. So it's good. So instead of throwing them in at the deep end with at that stage 60 odd years of lore, it instead introduces viewers to key concepts every episode. So one episode you'll be introduced to the concept of the Universal Translator, the replicators, warp travel, Prime Directive, the Borg, the Terran universe, etc. So by the end of season 1, and certainly into season 2, it's become a fully fledged Trek show, dealing with legacy characters from Voyager and TNG, and even a couple from the original series as well make brief appearances thanks to the holodeck. It also pitches its tone quite well. Although, as I said, aimed at younger audiences, it deals with some very dark and adult issues. Genocide is a big sort of factor, as well as civil war and time shenanigans at play in the overall arc, plus slavery to start with. There's a genuine set of stakes at play here, and it doesn't shy away from the consequences, especially in that season 1 finale. Finally, the show manages an excellent sense of character growth amongst the core characters, especially for Gwyn and Dal. Each of them experience not just growth of skills, but also emotional maturity throughout the course of the series, reaching significant moments in the second season that define them as characters going forward. Look, this is something that's not always done by New Trek, or rarely done in old Trek, especially considering its episodic format. But it's really interesting to see them doing this in what is often dismissed as similar to Lower Decks, a kids' cartoon show. All right, the bads. Its strengths are also some of its greatest weaknesses. Due to that onboarding process I was mentioning, the first couple of episodes don't feel very Trek. They feel more like a young adult version of Blake 7, really. It definitely begins to feel more like Star Trek as it goes along.
You mean Cat or Grim?
Yeah. Look, those initial episodes are a bit of a slog. There's also the character growth aspect counting against it at the starting point for a few of those characters. Roktak, great character. She starts off as an infant, though. Gwendella is initially an unwilling captive and needs to break away from her father's influence. And Dal. Dal's probably, season 1 especially, a bit of an albatross around the neck. and he's the main point of view character. For those first two issues, they're fixed pretty quickly, but Dal is an ongoing issue. However, okay, look, I don't want to spoil Dal's story because his growth is some of the best long-term character work done in any Star Trek series, possibly only beaten by Mariner in Lower Decks. But he's initially the traditional sort of character you'd expect from these sort of shows. Brash maverick that doesn't seem to learn from his mistakes. It's not entirely fair. He regrets those mistakes. He tries not to repeat them, but he still does. Add to that a healthy dose of main character syndrome that just would leave Kirk blushing. And at times it can be aggravating. Look, this is, as I say, this is pretty similar to a lot of the characters we've seen in young adult fiction before. He reminds me a lot of Ezra in Rebels, in that sort of brash, unearned sense of entitlement and destiny that comes across. But he does grow. He really, especially by the end of season 2 or midpoint of season 2, you see that growth starting to pay off, and it's a great character arc from there. So, look, I know he's annoying in the initial season. Bear with it. The Hageman brothers know exactly what they're doing, and the payoff is well worth it. Okay.
Of the founding races of the Federation.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
it's the first to feature a Tellarite as a main character in the series, which is a criminal take.
Yeah.
If you've got four races that came together to create Federation: the Vulcans, the humans, the Andorians, Tellarites.
Right.
Yeah, you need to include Tellarites in your TV series, and having a Tellarite as one of the main characters is important. Sorry, there's me Star Trek ranting.
No, that's a valid point. It's also one of the other characters, should we say, a Medusan, which again referenced in the original series. A Danubian slime worm, I believe.
Yeah. None of the characters are human, aside from later on when you get the Voyager crew coming together.
In season 1, though, none of the major characters are human. It's a show that acts as a perfect bridging point between Voyager and Picard, chronologically in the Star Trek universe, because it covers both ends of that sort of aspect. It covers the fallout from Voyager and an inciting event that's very important later on in Picard is where it ends off. So it's a criminally underrated and underwatched show, and honestly, if you're there in Trek, take a look at it. And as you can see, season 2, there's also the redemption of Wesley Crusher. He actually gets to be a decent character.
I mean, Wesley wasn't a bad character.
Yeah, he wasn't in retrospect. Once you get past
they blowing up or something. They did an Adric on him or something.
We did. They disappeared mid Next Generation because of things that he had the actor had going on, and the show itself, copping a lot of crap from the audience when it came to Wesley character as a character, he was definitely that character that was thrown in there to appeal to the younger audience. He was the Robin to the Batman, but he does come across as a little bit whiny.
He's what, a Mary Sue almost. That overbearing sort of nerdy Star Trek way.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just remember he was just. I just found him very hard to sit through myself. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, they let Will Wheaton have another go at the character, and he does a great job this time around. Rob Picardo comes back, and
for the first time.
And who else is?
Is Robert Beltran back as Chakotay?
Yes, it is. Yeah. And oh God, and
considering he has said for years that he'd never come back to Star Trek.
Yeah.
Guess he had one.
So very. If you have a chance to see it, recommend. It's well worth a watch.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Okay,
Okay.
next slide.
Well, next one. Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
I definitely got the leftovers to clean up, didn't I?
Yeah,
All right.
sorry.
So me again, and hi kids. This is where we do our child advisory warnings. Watch out, parents. It's children's television. Hide the kids. Do something. Okay, so this thing, you've seen this sort of stuff before. It's Nickelodeon, I think, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, it's a Nickelodeon series for the under fives. Get them young. It's what you might call vaguely educational. You know, that kind of weird, like even Sesame Street does it now. It just makes me just want to tear my eyeballs out. Well, look. I was brought up in 1970s Sesame Street. Nothing seemed quite the same since, except maybe Bluey, perhaps, or the Ferals. But anyway, it's one of those shows.
War on Drugs that did that. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It reminded me of the Teletubbies sense of repetition. It's basically these generic hyperactive kid characters, and the hyperactive pets in their hyperactive full saturation colors and all that sort of stuff. And there's about 10 episodes, about 5 minutes long. It has the same flat, bright plastic look. A lot of these things, I mean, for me, it just feels exactly the same as, half the clickbait on YouTube or something. But the weird thing is it's got this really tight formula that I've not seen so rigidly adhered to. Like, they're in some kind of weird academy place, some kind of romper room, and every single episode is exactly the same. I only got through about 40 minutes of this before I gave up. But basically, you've got a silly themed asteroid, bubblegum, disco ball, Twinkie, right? So you've got a Twinkie asteroid coming to hit Earth or Starfleet or wherever they're in this romper room. And in exactly 4 minutes, it's going to hit them. So they get some kind of weird plastic molded asteroid killing replicator transporter cannon thing, and a spinner randomly picks one of 4 ridiculous objects, a cheese, a mac and cheese, paper airplane, box of crayons, and they fire it at this incoming asteroid. Now, the first 2 attempts will be randomly picked by a spinner and will fail. They'll have some little drama where they carry on, have some jokes with the pets, and then someone will say, wait, we've got a minute to go. And then they turn to the audience and say, okay, which of these 2 objects should we use next? Should we use this cream pie, or should we use a large cannonball? Tricky. And of course, the kids don't get to choose because the decision's already made. They fire the winning object, which blows up the thing. They have some themed joke at the end, and that's it. And then the next show is exactly the same, literally almost down to the second. It's incredible. It's like someone wrote a single episode, fed it into a game engine, and then basically told it to randomize some variations. And now it can.
Ever since Dora the Explorer, preschool television is really, really formulaic. So, every episode of Dora she comes across a situation where she has to get across in 3 steps. And 3 steps she'll need to talk to one person or another thing and get specifically out of her backpack, refer to another character, and then run into Swiper. And
there's no backpack.
It's basically, So it's not. It's really, really formulaic, and
it's like you can solve the puzzles by knowing absolutely nothing about anything, but just being familiar with the format of the show. That's the stupid thing about it. So it's something that exists purely for itself. So it's like the Teletubbies.
I mean, it's not aimed for you. It's made. Aimed to make 5-year-olds feel smarter. But
cool. But you also get things like the Octonauts, which do a far better job at this. Maybe they're aiming for the 6-year-old market or something. But the Octonauts.
Octonauts has the same formula, though.
It does, but it does it much more interestingly. It's like they're actually little stories that go somewhere, and you actually do find out about something. One of their characters would be a giant squid or a vampire squid or something. And it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know about that. And I'd look it up, and sure enough, it's a thing. This just, if you saw it on YouTube, you'd probably have your blockers up to avoid it, I think, without even realizing it was Star Trek. And I guess it's for the under 5s with susceptible parents. Like I say, I'm very skeptical of this formula. It trades in a lot of repetition, which a lot of toddler television does. Like Teletubbies a great example. In the sense that's part of the whole learning process with them. So, that's probably it. But it just felt really incongruous for me. So lots of undeserved praise, gushing positivity, bright colors, lights, getting our toddlers hooked on screens. Maybe I would suggest babysitting them with internet clickbait or AI slop. It might actually be healthier for them. Better still, run around the park with a ball and a dog. So yes, I had to apply some serious Bluey and Octonaut decontamination after this one. I was thinking, very short track. Maybe I should forgive them. But anyway, so anyway, definitely not for me, as you can imagine, and I suspect not for you two either, which is why I got the short stick on this one. So I rate. I forgot to mention the magic word. The whole thing is just patronizing. So I rate Star Trek Scouts 2 bar humbugs. It gets 2 stars for nice colors and keeps you engaged for 4 or 5 minutes, even if it is negatively. So there we go.
Thank you for suffering through it.
I was honestly willing to say, I haven't had a chance to see this one and just let it go. It's not aimed for us and just let it go. So thank you for taking that pleasure here.
It's animation after all, and it's for kiddie winks, and it's definitely a formula.
Lindsay's totally not the person to do preschool television.
Well, not necessarily. Like I say, 1970s Sesame Street's what I got raised on.
Yes, but they're not.
It felt more grounded, and it felt more gritty, and it felt more authentic, right? So when you see the 1970s,
but we're not going to see the likes of Roosevelt Franklin again,
and we are poorer for it. But Ernie meets what's his name, Lefty. That I think is worth 10 years of Stranger Danger. That stuff. These dodgy people you meet in New York City that try to sell you stuff. Hey, would you want to buy an 8? And of course, Ernie always outwits him by being earnest and honest and forthright. It's great. It's good stuff. This stuff, it's on rails. The kids are just there. It's like the Borg Collective. The kids are just there to make the kind of animated flappy bits on this mechanism, this structure that's basically doing it all for us. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. So anyway, 2 patronizing bar humbugs from me.
All right. So
because it's got good production values. Stick with the Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So that's all the animated series at this moment in time. So let's look at what the future brings. Which, all right. Yeah, Tanya, do you want to do the adequate here, or should I just read through that one?
Read through.
Okay, so difficult to see, always in motion, the future. So look, currently we've got 2 seasons of Strange New Worlds left, 1 season of Starfleet Academy, and that's probably it for us. That's all that's in development or post-development at this moment in time. And with the change in management at Paramount from the merger with Skydance and the possibility of another merger on the horizon, a lot is in flux. It's looking more and more certain that this current era of Kurtzman Trek is over, and they're ending the association with the current production house. That means going forwards, it's difficult to say, although it seems likely under new management we'll be looking at films they've signaled more than TV series. So animation is probably not on the horizon. It'll be a long time before we see anything Star Trek related again. But as Spock said, I've been dead before. Trek has come back with the animated series. It came back with the motion picture. It came back with TNG. It came back with the Kelvinverse. It came back with Disco. It'll be back again at some format in the future. That's pretty much a given.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah. Look, what that format will be, only the great koala knows. But I'll be there for it, and I suspect so will many of you.
Why is it smiling?
I don't know. It knows something. Oh, Aiden, do it, mate. And we've got a commenter here. Aiden says, A series that might be worse than AI Slop. This I have to see. Well, if you do have to see it, it'll only be 5 minutes, possibly less. If you want to see 2 of them just to compare.
Hey, you know that last section in the script, the future onwards, it's in white on a white background for me, so I didn't even know it was there. Yeah,
there you go. Very good. It's been redacted for
Thank you. I can see it now. Yeah, I just like, what is Dave talking about? So I selected it.
Now, look, I don't mind having a long break.
Oh, sorry, Tanya. That's on me. That's on me because I've got it on black for my feed. Yeah. So yeah, changing from Lindsay's text, I changed the color to white.
Nice.
So the koala redacted Okay, so next week
we got through it in an hour, not the 3 hours predicted.
Oh no, I thought it'd be an hour and a half.
Such restraint. I'm proud of you people. We waved the catnip, and you didn't take it. That's good. Anyway, no, I think an absence of Star Trek will be good. Get the time to refresh itself. If assuming it even wants to come back, I mean, I think there's enough of it to keep people entertained for at least 9 months round the clock.
We've got to get out of this weird bipolar audience thing going on across because
it's nothing new. It's just more visible.
It's loud. It feels louder. It really does.
It does. It's definitely, it's been industrialized and commercialized. That's the big difference.
It's weird that you can come across people who, you used to come across people who hadn't engaged with Star Trek at all. When I was in my
didn't know what it was.
I've never watched Star Trek. I didn't. What is that? I've never watched Star Wars, and nowadays, since this age of the nerd. Where everyone's a nerd and, it's weird and everyone knows what it is, but no one can agree on stuff. And it's just ridiculously, just enjoy the...
Yeah. I was going back over some of the old late 60s and 70s stuff just recently, and I was surprised at how much, if you don't have an internet, a lot of that was angry conservatism. Fighting back, like the Dirty Harrys and the Death Wishes and all that sort of stuff. And if you look at those, so it's really quite explicit. So it's been around. It's just, the context is different now. So it's interesting how all that works. So things change and recycle, but the context and the way we receive them and the way we handle them completely changes over time. It's quite something. Just when you think you've got it all down pat and nothing's ever going to change, you suddenly wake up one morning and you realize it all changed years ago and you just never caught up with it. So, it's definitely a thing. Yeah. Anyway, what are we going to talk about next month?
Oh, well, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to think about the next May the 4th. Maybe we should reserve that for big franchise.
There might be some thoughts behind that.
Yeah, possibly.
I'm
thinking of
yeah. So
I was thinking things like Bakshi's Lord of the Rings or something, but like all the versions of the Lord of the Rings.
We haven't finished the sci-fi series yet.
Well, there's the Doctor Who stuff, but they always feel like
so much more. Trust me on this one. There's
a
lot we haven't gone into.
I guess you're thinking anime?
No. I'm thinking anything from Filmation upwards.
No.
For sci-fi series, and there's some that people might have forgotten entirely about.
More than likely, I think I have already forgotten.
Cool.
Well,
okay.
We are in a endless cycle of nostalgically complaining about stuff. So let's
Doing that.
let's wrap this up and say goodbye from me.
I guess it's live long and prosper for me.
And it's goodbye from them. Goodbye every night.
See ya.
All right.